So you want to make better YouTube videos. I think I can help with that. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of robertoblake.com, helping you create something awesome today. Welcome to another video on video production, video editing, and all the things you need to know if you're going to jump in front of or behind a camera. Today, I'm going to give you my top 10 tips for making better YouTube videos. It's what I've learned over the course of filming, shooting, editing, and marketing over 1,000 videos, both on YouTube and other platforms. So let's jump right into it. Tip number one for making better YouTube videos is you want to understand quality camera settings. I cannot stress this enough. Being able to use the manual settings on your camera, especially a DSLR camera, is going to be vital to getting better YouTube videos because you'll be able to control everything about how the video looks. You'll be able to control the sharpness, how blurry the background is. You'll be able to control how consistent the color temperature and white balance is. These things are very important to make sure that you have an understanding of what the overall image quality is going to look like and how this is just going to look on screen as a finished product. So if you can control the manual settings, you're going to be that much closer to producing better YouTube videos exactly the way you want them to look every single time. I've actually done a detailed breakdown on manual settings for DSLR cameras. I'm going to link that up for you. Number two, control the lighting. Lighting is going to be one of the most important things that determines the image quality when you're talking about video, and also it's going to give you a bit more flexibility in how you handle your camera settings. Have you ever watched videos where someone's wearing like a dark t-shirt or there's a black background and everything looks really grainy and it just looks dusty? Well, that is because they had to turn up what's called the ISO in the camera because they didn't have enough lighting. A little bit of grain is okay in a low light situation or in a movie that's done with black and white color treatment. But when you're in full color, in HD or 4K, that grain, that noise is going to make your video look a lot worse than it actually should. And you can control that if you have a lot of great lighting. This is why a lot of YouTubers, when they're starting out, shoot outdoors or they use natural daylight through a window. But you can go ahead and you can get decent lighting pretty affordably. In this case, I'm using a very fancy lighting kit that's let the video quality go up tremendously on this channel, but I was actually getting away with decent quality with a $100 lighting kit, and I think with maybe as much of a $60 lighting kit, I could have actually been okay. And so I'm going to link those things up in the description below for you, but try so very hard to control your lighting. And the problem with outdoor lighting, I would say, in natural daylight is you don't control that, so the clouds could come in and then that could disrupt your whole video and make it look different, or it could affect when you're able to film. There are plenty of YouTubers I know that can't get videos out as regularly as they'd want to because they don't have the opportunity to film when it's daylight for one reason or another. Their schedule doesn't work out, so try to put yourself in a position where you're in control of your lighting all the time. Tip number three. Tip number three is kind of obvious. You want to make sure that your viewers are having a good audio experience. To do that, there are a couple of tools that I'm going to recommend. If you can afford it, consider investing in a wireless system like the Rode Link Filmmaker Kit. If you can't go wireless, do what I did for what I think, 500 of my first 1,000 videos. Use a wired microphone. I used a $20 wired microphone for most of my YouTube videos on this channel until I decided to do some upgrades. So it's completely affordable to get good quality audio. Having a dedicated audio source instead of using the in-camera audio is going to make a huge difference in the experience for your viewers. You don't want to give them a terrible audio experience, so I recommend doing that. Right now, I'm using the Sennheiser MKE 440. It is a little bit more expensive. It's over $300, but personally, in my opinion, it's the best under $500 audio solution for YouTube videos as far as a shotgun microphone. But if you need something a little bit less expensive but still pro, I'd recommend another shotgun microphone, the Rode VideoMic Pro. This is about $229 usually on Amazon, and it gets the job done and it's great, but it may still be out of your price range. If you need something cheaper, especially if you're filming on a smartphone, then I recommend the Rode VideoMic Me. This is about $60 and this will work just fine. I actually get great quality out of this. Tip number 4, let's talk a little bit about how to get those nice blurry backgrounds in your YouTube videos. The trick to getting those blurry backgrounds is called shallow depth of field. You'll see a lot of big YouTubers take advantage of this, and for that you will need what's called a prime lens. A prime lens is a lens that has what's called a wide aperture. This is a photography and filmmaking term. In your settings in your camera, you'll be able to set the aperture down to something like, f1.8. f2.8 is usually the standard for YouTube videos when you want that blurry background. You guys have seen me do this in front of the bookshelf before and also out in the real world. You've also seen it on my photos in Instagram. With a prime lens like this macro lens that I'm holding here, which I use for a lot of my product shots for videos and photography, you'll be able to open the aperture up to something like f2.8. This is going to let you get that shallow depth of field. You will be in focus and you will be tack sharp. The background will be a little blurry, and it's actually even more so the more distance that's between you and your background. So that's just kind of important to keep in mind, and you will want to keep your background interesting. Lenses that I would recommend for getting that shallow depth of field look are going to be either a 28mm lens, a 35mm lens, or a 50mm lens. Those are probably your best options. If you want a zoom lens that you can adjust, then go with a 24-70. This is typically the standard when it comes to YouTube videos. The prime lenses, by the way, are a lot cheaper. You can get them from anywhere from $50 to $300. Tip number 5. Use cutaways, animations, and fly-ins. Cut-ins, animations, and fly-ins are things that you can put over your main shot, usually called your A-roll, and this is what's referred to as either, again, cutaways, flyovers, overlays, or even B-roll footage. What this means is that if I'm talking about a piece of tech or gear, I can throw up shots of that here while I'm talking, and we can cut away to those. That will be B-roll. But if I want to have something like an overlay or a fly-in, then that means I can bring in an animated graphic on screen that does something interesting for a few seconds, and then it goes away. Another thing you can do is you could break up your footage by, doing cuts where things zoom in for emphasis. Like when you're saying something really important. This means that the video is more visually interesting, it's not boring, it's not dragging on in places. That's going to be really important, especially if you think you have an audience with a short attention span, or you're getting into material that is a little wordy. Which brings us to tip number 6. Make the video as long as it needs to be and not a minute longer. Ultimately, I don't set an arbitrary goal of how long I want a video to be. There are videos that I know are going to be long form content. There are videos that are going to be short form content. When I know I'm doing a top 10 tips video, I know it's going to get a little bit longer. That's also why I will go back sometimes and make a video covering each of these tips by itself as its own video that's a little shorter and easier to digest, and then I put them all in their own playlist. This is part of just a content strategy for the video production. Now, one of the things that used to hold people back in YouTube is the cameras they had would have time limits for what you could do in one take. Some of this was 5 minutes in the very early days, and then 10, and then 20. But cameras are getting much more advanced now, especially if you're going into mirrorless systems. Some of those either don't have a time limit, like the Panasonic Lumix GH4 and GH5. Some of them have longer time limits, like my G7 has a 30-minute time limit. So that means that you can get very creative with your long takes if you need to. It means that for those of you doing time lapses, you have a lot of options there. So just keep in mind, you can do content as long as you need it to be. Live streaming has also shown that some people will watch videos longer, just depending on what the nature of the content is. So don't feel beholden to make short form content just because you hear everyone say make it under 5 minutes because people have short attention spans. Your audience may not have a short attention span, and what I like to tell people is that consider a video the same way you would any other experience, especially a date. If a date's going really well, you don't mind if it goes on and on and on. But if it's going badly, you want to get out of there as quickly as possible. So just keep that in mind. Tip number 7, learn precise editing. Part of making YouTube videos isn't just great quality footage and good cameras, lights, and audio. It's going to come down to the editing. Editing is where storytelling and where the magic happens. It's where you're able to do your jump cuts at just the right time. It's where you're able to put in your B-roll footage and your background audio if you want that. It's where you can get creative. Precise editing is all about timing. It's about knowing what to keep and what to throw away. So if you can master editing, even if you don't have great footage to work with, you can make magic happen. Tip number 8, Color grading and color correction. This one gets a little bit technical. It basically comes down to the look of your video footage. You guys have probably seen that I've been filming with my drone a lot lately. I filmed that in flat profile mode. The same thing when I'm vlogging, doing my Creative Thoughts vlogs on the Sony RX100 Mark V. I'm shooting really flat for those, but it lets me be more flexible on the color grading and the color correction so that I can get accurate colors and so that I can make things the way I want them to, where I can do a little bit of extra sharpening. So when you're doing color grading and color correction, which I have several tutorials on, you get to tell a different side of the story. You can set an entire mood and tone with the way that you make choices in this part of the editing, so I would pay attention to that. Definitely make sure you're checking out my tutorials, and also my friend Nathaniel Dodson at TutVid has some really good tutorials on this as well. Tip number 9. Tip number 9 doesn't have to do anything with the filming and editing so much as it has to do with your on-camera presence. One of the things you want to make sure you're doing in your YouTube videos is make eye contact with the viewer. That's really important. It's part of the emotional connection that you're having with people. So for your on-camera performance, my top tips are: 1, make sure you do some like mouth exercises so you loosen it up so you can talk as long as you need to. Make eye contact by staring directly at the lens whenever possible. And the other thing that I would recommend that you do with regard to your on-camera performance is try to say your words as clearly as possible. My 10th and final tip for making better YouTube videos is practice and patience. It took me doing hundreds upon hundreds of videos to be able to get comfortable on camera. It took me editing hundreds of videos to get my techniques and my workflow down and to become really efficient at it, enough to put out videos just about every single day on top of all the other work I do with clients and meetings and speaking and traveling and all the things. Usually, on a video this long, it doesn't take me longer than 45 minutes to an hour to do all of my editing, add background music, do my color grading, and then I just have to wait on it to render, which, while that's happening, I go do something else. The more videos you make, the better you will become. There are so many YouTubers who give up after 20 or 30 videos of not getting enough views, and I would make the argument that you should be looking to do 100 to 200 videos before you even think about what views and subscribers you're getting, because it will take that many tries, in my opinion, for you to get really good at something. Mastering video production, mastering audio, mastering editing techniques, color grading, where to cut, what to cut, and your on-camera performance is all going to take time and effort, the same way that picking up a sport or picking up an instrument or learning a new job would take time. This is going to take time too. Your first year on YouTube should not be about how many people are watching. It should be about you doing something that you really enjoy and trying your best to get good at it. Hopefully this video and others that I've done on the channel are helping you improve and helping you grow. And not just grow your views and subscribers, but grow as a creator and just have better skills and a better appreciation for the process and the craft of what you're doing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have questions about how to make better YouTube videos, you want to know about camera gear, you want to know about editing techniques, you want me to do other tutorials and different software things on the channel for the programs that you're using, let me know in the comment section. Also, question of the day: how many YouTube videos have you shot and edited so far? Let me know in the comments. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome stuff on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and don't forget, create something awesome today. Take care.